All right, what's up, guys? So real quick, this video is gonna be a little bit different from the last one, just to get like a little intro for y'all, so y'all know what's happening. So obviously, y'all see I got gameplay in the background of the video. This is just to give y'all something to watch while I talk, cause I don't know why I did it like this. I just didn't. I just thought this was like a different style, and I think especially with the game being Minecraft, the gameplay in the back would make it a lot I don't know, just nicer to watch or whatever. I guess you want to say. So yeah, guys, today's video, um, the title of it is going to be a young man's thoughts on false promises and love. So, I feel like I gave y'all a little bit of an intro. I don't got no features for this video. I probably won't ever have a feature on a video again. But yeah, that's cool. I'm gonna just stick to me, keep doing me, do what I do. Y'all know how I do. All right. So let's start off with the false promises part of my title. So false promises have become very prevalent in this generation, I feel. Like, people will promise you one thing and give you another, or people will promise you one thing, just to get you to do something for them or whatever. And I feel like a lot of people do this, or actually, I feel like a lot of people do this and they don't realize that they're giving false hope to people, and I don't think they realize the effects that their actions have on them. Um, and then I do think there's people that genuinely do it, just like mess with people and just play with them or whatever, which I think is very immature and very weird. But as y'all know how I feel about a lot of the people, especially here where I'm at, there's a lot of very immature and just messy people. But no, yeah, it's just very, let's just say it's very interesting. Let's just call it interesting. So that's one thing I feel about false promises. And then I feel like I speak best when I speak from personal experience. So I'm just gonna give y'all a little bit of background. I'm not gonna say no names because I don't want no problems with nobody. As you know, I'm not gonna input nothing into that. But recently, I'd say since November up to this point, actually, I've been given a lot of false promises. Not so much from friends as more, let's just say, like people that could have been very important in my life, but for whatever reason, they just choose to be weird and different and give me false promises. And if y'all know me, y'all know I'm the type of person who I'm growing up now, right? I'm getting older. I'm gonna touch on this later, but let's just say that, like, I'm not gonna force a connection. I'm not gonna force love. It's like if you don't want to give me the time of day and I'm giving you everything I've got, then I feel like you don't deserve me personally. Like that's not to sound, uh what's the word? I don't want to sound like snobby, or I don't want to sound like all high and mighty, or sound egotistical or whatever. But I genuinely think that there's just some people who don't deserve my energy, time, and attention because I'm such a genuine and nice person. And yeah, I can do dumb things that sometimes. I mean, we all can. We're human. We all make mistakes and mess up and do dumb stuff. But I think that, as people, especially, or people, how people, especially, I feel like a lot of people can see my genuinity. Is that a word? I don't know. They can see my genuineness. I don't know if that's a word either. But I feel like they can see it and they can tell that, maybe they can get things from me, and which people have done, but I've gotten a lot smarter. I'm not letting that happen anymore. I've learned a lot, especially in this past, like, what, 3 weeks. I've learned a whole lot, which I will get into later. Don't you guys worry. Um, yeah, so false promises, getting into what I was talking about earlier, the false promises I've been given by people that could have been important in my lives. So, um, I was given false promise by, I don't even want to say, so, well, let's just say I was given false promise by somebody who could have been important in my life, and they chose to be really dumb, and they admitted to it, which I can give them props for. They admitted to being really dumb and messing up, and they said, I'm not gonna read the message. It was very long. If you guys who've seen it, I don't know if anybody's seen it, but if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. It was very long. It was very heartfelt. I could tell that them. I mean, yeah, y'all probably already know what I'm talking about anyway, but I feel like they were coming from a very genuine place of like, damn, I really messed up. Like I could tell from the message they sent, and then like I said, again, words are just words at the end of the day, but I feel like their words were genuine. So yeah, I feel like the person was being really genuine with me and stuff. So obviously, I forgive, but I don't forget. It's like I think people can change, but I just had a feeling that that person was never gonna change, and they did something like 2 weeks later to prove that fact. But yeah, I'm not gonna get into that because it's kind of weird what she did. Okay, well I'm not. Well, y'all know now because I'm not. You know. All right. Well, that's that. And yeah, she gave me a lot of false promises. Let's just say, and it really messed with me. Like I feel like I said earlier about not giving people energy, the reason I'm gonna just stop giving less and less of myself to people is because I just keep getting false promises. I'm too quick to believe, I'm too hopeful, you know. Like I'm like, oh really, like I'm quick to like jump onto something and be happy about it, without really thinking too deeply. Or I think deeply about it, but without like perceiving it the right way. But I don't know. It was just a whole situation, it ended it ended kind of messy. Um, you know, and not to go too deep into it, but like the reason I say I forgive but don't forget and I think people can change, but some people just don't is because like the girl who had did that stuff to me, she was like, "Oh, in the message she was talking about all the stuff she was sorry for and I could appreciate it." And then she was like, "Oh, I still love you. You were perfect for me." This, that, and the third. And it's crazy because right after that, she went and started talking to my homeboy. Um, and at the time, he was also talking to. It's just a whole situation, but it's cool. It's whatever. I ain't hold nothing against my homeboy for it because I told him he could do it because he asked me, out of respect, and he even stopped himself for a little while because he knew that I wasn't okay with it really, even though I said I was. Sometimes I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a perfect person, like I'm really big on communication, and the reason I told him it was okay even though I wasn't is because I knew that he really wanted to talk to her, so I kind of just let that happen and let it take its course, even though I didn't really like it all too much because it's my homeboy and ex, so it's kind of a weird situation, but um it's fine though. I'm good now from that situation at least. It was a whole nother situation just happened that I'm gonna get into later, like I said. But yeah, okay, getting back into the main topic, false promises. Feel like people give out false promises because it can comfort them and their sense of like not being alone. If it's like, for example, if I gave you a false promise and was like, "Oh yeah, I'll be here for you whenever you need me, whatever weather. I'm never gonna switch up on you. I'm always gonna be here for you if you need somebody to confide in. I'm always gonna be here for you if you want somebody to, just talk to about anything." I said that, and then I was like, and then you were like, "Oh yeah, same. I would be there for you too." And then you're let's just say you're always there for me, but I'm the one who's never there for you. It's kind of like a false promise, it's like a I said one thing that I was gonna give you, and I just didn't do it. I didn't do it. And yeah, that's like kind of my take on like the whole false promise thing. It's especially with like I think with relationships more than anything, like boy girl relationships. There's like it's so easy to give a false promise to somebody who you're not too attached to yet, just out of hope that they'll believe your false promise. Like they'll believe it and they'll take it as a truth. Cuz like naive people will take false promises and see them as real truths, you know? That was a nice little quote. I might quote that later. I like that. Um, but yeah, that's how I feel about it. And I was naive at the time. Uh, actually, I guess I can just segue into this because it's a good segue. When it comes to like love, in terms of like people outside of my family that are like females, more in particular, I'd say I'm naive when it comes to most of it because I'm not too experienced with it. If I'm gonna be honest, I'm really not experienced at all. Um, this was something I had written down in my notes, and I had like the quote written down and stuff. I'll see if I can find some stuff to read for you guys later. But this is just speaking off the top of my head. I mean, being being inexperienced and naive, and then having all this false hope from these false promises, it left me really upset and really sad, and like I don't want to say depressed because I wasn't like depressed, but I was really sad. And that just comes from me having a lack of experience. But like I said, L's are not for losses, it's for learning. You know, it's all a learning experience. Everything is, there's no such thing as a loss, only an opportunity to learn. Um, I'm pretty sure Bob Ross said that. I think I heard it earlier on Instagram, but I've said that before too, so I guess, we think alike or whatever. But yeah, no. So, it kind of, when you're naive in a situation, it makes you feel some type of way after you get, I don't know, I guess you could say heartbroken. But yeah, that was that, and it's sad because it's something I've had to accept recently. Like, it's like, especially within the past week, it's like I got a false promise from, this was last week, you know. There was this whole thing that happened. I was real happy about it. And then it turns out that, you know, I'm not gonna say boy girl because this one is a different situation. But this person was, you know, talking to me one type of way, and then, like, the next day they would just be a completely different person, and it really broke me because I knew at that moment, like that exact moment when I seen the person switch up, I was like, wow. I was like, they can really like mislead you and really do it like so smoothly too, to the point where you won't even know. Like, it really did leave me. I was really, really sad. I'm so sad about it right now, honestly. It's probably why I'm coming to make this video. Just somewhere to get my feelings out or whatever. Just vent with a little bit of wisdom in it. That's kind of what my videos are. But yeah, that's what kind of made me want to make the video today specifically. I was supposed to film one like on the 29th, but it's fine. But so yeah, the person, they gave me a false promise. I'd expected one thing and I had really high hopes for it, and I was like really let down, which was naive of me because I can't have high hopes going into something, and you don't know the person that well. So yeah, it really did hurt because I really did think it was just gonna be perfect for me. But I guess, they say nothing in life is perfect for a reason. We all go through struggles, we all go through things, and all I'm gonna try to do is grow from the situation. I'm not gonna hold resentment towards the person. It's all love at the end of the day. It's no beef ever. It's all love for everybody still. I truly do feel love for, or not, I'm not gonna say everybody because I'm still human. I try my best to feel love for everybody. But that person in particular is, they're gonna be happy one day without me, and I'm just gonna be doing my own thing wherever I'm at. Up until like not too long ago, I'd say about a month ago, I couldn't see my life past 18. And not because like I just couldn't see it, like just because I like couldn't. It was more just because I really didn't think I was gonna make it past 18. I had a lot of health struggles, and then, just a whole lot of bad people hanging around me. There was times I've been near death, like multiple times. A lot of y'all know about those experiences and things that happened to me, and it shaped the way I view life. How quick, like, I've seen how fast a life can end. Like, I've seen it. All it takes is 6 pounds of force, pull the trigger, boom, and just like that, somebody's life, soul, energy, everything about them. It's just their consciousness is gone. It's just their flesh, their body just on the floor. But I don't want to make this like a dark video. Um, I'm just speaking from the heart. This is, how I feel, how I'm gonna express it. It's just 100% from the heart. No script, no nothing. Just me speaking and telling it how it is. So yeah, going back into the main point though. So this person gave me false hopes, and like I said, we can't be, trying to figure out how to word this. We can't be naive, right? As a people, as partners, as people trying to grow in general. We have to learn to be less naive, I would say, because I wouldn't say I'm a dumb person. Like, I'd say I'm pretty wise, but I'm naive when it comes to stuff like that. When it comes to love stuff, I don't, you know, and I'm big on communication too. So it's like, when you say you're gonna do one thing, you say you're gonna communicate, you say you're gonna do this, you say you're gonna do that, all this stuff, and it sounds perfect because that's what a false truth is. It's just all gonna sound perfect to you, but false truths are just false truths fill in the void for like false truths fill in the hope in the void for like the want for something. So like I could believe a false truth probably in the back of my mind knowing that it's false just because I want that hope to cling on to. I want something that will keep me pushing and keep me wanting to go, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's it's really upsetting that this is happening. But at the same time, I don't want nobody's pity. I don't want nobody to feel sorry for me or whatever. Because if there's one reason I probably don't express my emotions to most people, is because I truly do hate when people are like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry," this, that, and the third. It's like I appreciate the concern, truly I do, but it's like I don't like people feeling sorry for me because I can always handle shit myself. I always have handled shit myself, always will handle shit myself. But that's the way I feel about it personally. And so going on to the next topic, love. Love is something I have so many words for, so little time to express it. So there's like different areas of like the topic of love I want to talk about. So you have like, your true love, um, which can go, so you have true love, right? And what I see true love is partnership with somebody where you guys are best friends, you know, also wife and husband, care about each other, you play like friends, care about each other like family, like that type of thing. And I feel like true love, another thing added on, let me add on to that, is when you take love, which is a feeling that you can feel towards anybody. Like I can love somebody and not like I can love somebody and well, I can love, let's just put it like this. I can love 20 different people at once. Like I can love 20 different girls at once and not be loyal, and it won't really be true love, but I can love one woman with so like the way I see true love is if you can love one person and just give them all your love on one hand and then loyalty on the other and then merge them together. So I think true love is a mix of loyalty, or it's like a merging of loyalty and love, because you can have love without loyalty and you can have loyalty without love, and then you can't have true love without both. You need both to have true love. That's the way I feel about it. So I feel like, when you think you're getting those things together and you think it's like real love, it kind of tricks yourself into thinking, oh, this person cares about me so much, and this person, is so good for me and all that. But like I said, I was just, or this is me kind of speaking from experience, but I was really naive about it. And yeah, man. And honestly, talking on the whole love subject, I've like had girlfriends before. Like I've been in relationships, but I don't think I've ever been like truly like. I don't think there's ever been somebody that has felt true love towards me, like true, just genuine love, and then with the loyalty. Because I feel like there's been people that have loved me, but definitely weren't loyal. That was like the situation I was talking about earlier. It was really messy, but like I said, live and learn. You know, never gonna take nothing personal. You're gonna learn from the experience too, cheating on me, but you know, that's just gonna go how it's gonna go, and that's how I feel about it. Okay, and then another thing, love bombing, right? That's another thing like related to love, I feel. So touching on like the whole love bombing subject, I've been love bombed before. I think like twice or something like that. And love bombing, y'all, is something y'all really gotta watch out for, because I promise you, sometimes it can be the most convincing shit in the world, to the point where you really will believe it with your whole heart, and you really will think it to be true, even though it's not. So like, I've been like this one girl who I was with, like, when was this? I was for 2022. She love bombed the shit out of me. I'm not gonna lie. It was a very scary and nerve-wracking situation, because I'd never been through an experience like that before. But it did shape me. It did, and it did teach me how to watch out for it. And for those of y'all who don't know, the best way I can explain it is like love bombing is kind of like when somebody tells you that they tell you all the comforting things you want to hear without showing the action of it. It's like words without action, kind of. Like that's the best way I can explain it. Like if I told you I love you, and then like, oh, like I love you so much, don't leave me, and then it's kind of like entrapment with love. It's like entrapping somebody with, it's like, oh, they love me so much I can't leave them, and that's how the love bombing works. Like they try to get you to think like that. But yeah, no, I've been loved. So I don't know if y'all have, but it's not like a fun experience, and it's something that you can definitely learn from and grow from as a person. It's definitely one of the things that shaped me, and it's the way I am. It's the reason why I am the way I am today, and that's just the way I feel about it. And so I'm gonna give the little story time on how like the love bombing thing happened. So, like I told y'all, the one I was talking to a little while ago, or 2020, 2022, um, she was like, she sent me a long ass message. She's like, "Oh, I still love you, this, that, and the third." And I didn't really believe it because I was like, well, the way you acted didn't show that. So how could I believe the words you're saying? And basically, after that, she had sent my homeboy a message, like, cause like they were talking or whatever about something, cause they were like like friends kind of, and they were talking about something, and then the girl was like, "Oh, I already have a new man, and he's just there to help me heal and just here to help me get over Trey." And he was like, "That's not the right thing to do. You can't just use somebody to heal your wounds. You have to heal your own. You can't." Like I said, another one. You can't have anybody put the band-aid on for you. You got to put the band-aid on. Only you can stop your bleeding. And she just chose to bleed onto another person and let that be their problem. And I think that's why they were only talking for like two, or only together for 2 days. Because you can't choose to let yourself bleed on to somebody else because you don't want to deal with your problems. I know it's difficult. Dealing with our problems and our internal struggles has to be like one of the most difficult, if not the most difficult and challenging things we do in our life. Like dealing with your problems, knowing that you have to face the reality, no delusions, no no false sense of security, just you, your thoughts, and the truth. That is fucking horrifying. I'm sorry for the language. That's horrifying though. Like it's terrifying because there's nothing to hold on to, no hope, no like no, like I said, no false sense of security. It's nothing there to keep you comfortable and nothing there to comfort you. It's like it's just the truth and not nothing but the truth. And it's scary, but once you accept it and deal with it, you turn out a way better person. You learn how to deal with your emotions better. You learn how to heal better. You learn how to cope better. You learn how to love better. You learn how to process better. You learn how to do all of these things better. And I feel like that's something we need to do that a lot of people are afraid to do, but we just need to take the leap and do it because I've done it. I've taken a deep look into it, and I think that a lot of the reasons that my relationships failed is because, I'm shy and I don't have I'm not really a people person. I'm not really good at conversating with people. Like, my friend Julian, he's really good at conversating with people. I'm not, you know. And it's funny because I've had two teachers think I've had autism, and I almost convinced myself I had it, so I got tested. I tested last week, and it didn't. It came back negative. It just said that I had like a social anxiety disorder. That's what I got diagnosed with. So I mean, yeah, like I said, y'all, in the last video, I am awkward. Like I'm not a normal person, really. I'm very like shy and timid. I'm cool around the people I'm comfortable with or whatever, but I can't really just walk up to a random group of people and start talking, like in the street or whatever. Like I could talk to old people because they're really cool to talk to. And I've dealt with a lot of old people. I'm from the South. The old people kind of like to conversate with us. We like to conversate with them. It's kind of a back and forth thing. If anybody from New Orleans watching this video where I'm from, y'all know how it goes. It's not really like that out here in California, or at least from my personal experience. I like talking to the older people at like the older teachers at my school though, because I feel like they drop some gems. They speak the truth. I like old people's perspectives or elderly people's perspective on lives, and I have nothing but the utmost respect for all elderly people. Um, and yeah, I just think they're like really cool and they have some good insights and stuff like that. But going back into what I was saying earlier though, we have to just take that leap. Whoever's watching this, like you know, you like. I mean, I'm only talking to you right now. You're the only one watching this, really. You take that leap and just deal with your emotion and you learn how to heal yourself. You learn how to love yourself. You learn how to cope. You learn how to deal with yourself. you know that's what I think. And then I also had said something like time is a healer. Some of y'all may not think it's gonna get better, but time heals all wounds and time knows no bounds. So I heard that somewhere. I don't know where I heard that at, but it was a good ass quote, and I feel like it does summarize pretty well how the whole healing thing affects like the time energy of it. Um, and all that type of stuff. It's all kind of like I feel linked in together in some type of way. I don't know how to really explain it. I would have to like draw it out or something. It's very weird. Like how everything is like in terms of the time and the healing and the spiritual stuff is all linked. It's very interesting. I can't really explain it without drawing it. Um, but one thing I feel like is with the whole love thing, talked about love bombing, talked about the false promises, talked about love, true love, loyalty. I feel like when people, right, it's effort. Effort is a very big part in love, I feel like. So when you can't give somebody the time of day to just, feel special or feel like, you're making time for them, or if you can't, you know, just spend a little bit of time with them or whatever, then you wonder like, why does this person not want to be with me? And it's like the person doesn't want to be with you because you're not making them feel special, you're not putting in the effort, you're not giving them the time of day, right? So I feel like quality time and like, okay, so like my definition of quality time with a partner would probably be like, let's just say like you and whoever you're with, like, don't spend that much time together, right? You should just be open about it and be like, hey, like I want to really get to know you on like that deeper level, and you gotta, kind of hit them with the just tell them that, just hit them with that little whatever, and then uh however they react is however they react. You can't force nobody to do it, and but you can tell if they want to based off the reaction and stuff, and if they do, that's good. You just take them down. You sit somewhere isolated, just nobody else, no friends, no phone, no social media, no nothing, just two people sitting down making eye contact and talking. That's my like definition of quality time, and I feel like that's very pure and like and I would just say like enticing form of love to me. Like that's something I actually never had with anybody. Like I've never been able to just sit down and talk with somebody that thinks the same way I do. And I feel like that's why I feel so alone most of the times. And like I said, I'm not saying this to make y'all feel sad or whatever, or try to be different, or try to like sulk, or whatever y'all want to think. I could give a fuck less what people think about me. Sorry for the language. But I feel like if we don't have people that we feel like we can relate to, like relationship wise on an emotional level, we're always gonna end up feeling lonely. Like we're never gonna feel like we can fill that void inside because we have nobody to we have no like-minded people around us. It kind of just feels like everybody's thinking their own way and you have nobody to relate to. And relate is the base word in relationship. You gotta be able to relate in some way at least. You gotta be able to give people energy. You gotta give them time. Gotta give them communication, give them reassurance. That's something that I've never had all of that stuff in one relationship. And like I said, not doing this to be sad, just the truth. And I think that's why I think the way I am. Because I've had so much time to be lonely and sit with my own thoughts that I've been able to truly process the way I feel about everything. And I feel as though I've never been truly loved. And I feel like a lot of people haven't been truly loved. I feel like they think they have because they have that false sense of reality in their head, but I feel like a lot of people haven't been truly loved. And you know, it's pretty sad to say, but y'all know how it is. People will always, try to throw away, or like not throw away, like they'll deflect it. Like they'll be like, "Oh no, this person loves me." You know, they send me good morning text, and they tell me that that they love me. But I mean, they can say all that, right? But it's like, is what they're doing action wise proving that to you, or are they just saying it to like give you that false hope, that false truth of like, maybe because they don't want to feel alone either. Maybe that's fulfilling them in a way because they don't know what true love is. I feel like a lot of people in this generation don't know what true love is, and it's really sad. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm young. I'm still very young. I'm only 15 at the time of recording this. So of course like I said too, I'm not even that experienced on love, but I know that what a lot of people consider to be love isn't love. Like it's very, very twisted and backwards, and I feel very bad. Um, but you know, It's funny because my friend's texting me, asking me questions about this whole situation right now too. But no, on a real note though, y'all, take a step back, isolate yourself from people, think. And I don't say think like, think. I mean ponder. Like I like sit there and ponder, like sit there and really think for real. Like think, like get deep into your true self. I take time to meditate most days. I sit down and meditating isn't this whole with with the fingers crossed, legs crossed with your hands on your knees. That's not what meditation is to me. Meditation is time to sit by yourself and truly get to know who you are as a person. And once you do that, you will have inner peace. Once you realize that nobody's thoughts about you can affect you because you know who you are and nobody else can tell you who you are because of the nobody else can tell you who you are. And it's like nobody else can have an opinion on you because as look, and this is the way you'll know this. One, has anybody been through everything the same? Has anybody ever been through the same exact stuff as you? No. Has anybody ever dealt with the things the same way you have? No, they haven't. So then how would you let somebody's opinion on you affect you? You're just an outsider perspective on the way I handle things. And as far as I'm concerned, I could care less because you can't even handle your situation. You're still concerned about mine, you know? Like you're concerned about what I'm doing and you can't even handle yourself. It's really funny how people work. But it's cool though. Um, and that's why I'm telling y'all, take that time, step back, meditate, get to know yourself, get in your own thoughts and think. Turn off that false sense of security that you want to have for comfort. Turn off that false sense of reality. Don't just be like, oh yeah, she must really love me. She does all this stuff. Because love isn't what people on social media or people around you portray it to be. It's about the way you feel internally and is can the person who says that they love you, can they make you truly feel loved? And when I say truly feel loved, I mean truly feel loved. Like you feel like there's no way they would do anything slimy to you. There's no way that they would do anything crazy to you. There's no way that they would ever backdoor you or do anything of the sorts. That's what true love is. True love. I mean, it's so many words to describe it, y'all. Like I could like make a whole video going deeper into that, and y'all like the real stuff that I do, so maybe y'all might end up really liking this one, and you want another video on that. If you do, you could just drop a comment on it. But I don't know. I feel like this video probably won't top the last one, but I feel like this is like the truest and purest like form my video has ever been at because I feel like at the beginning it's a little bit rambly, but you get in once you get to the 30-minute mark, 25-minute mark, you'll start to see it starts to flow a little bit better, and it all starts to kind of add up. But yeah, take time to like really, I really have to emphasize this and stress this. I can't stress it enough. Guys, know yourselves because I've been in too many relationships where I was ready with myself, but the person wasn't ready with them. And they've given me that false sense of security, and I was too naive to see it. And, you got to still take time back to analyze it because people can really be convincing with words because that's all you can really see from people is their words and their actions. And if you haven't seen too many of their actions, all you've seen is the words. Of course, you're going to believe the words, right? But that's the way I feel about it. So, really, you know, spend time to know yourself because once you know yourself, then that's when you're ready to give true love to somebody. Once you're truly happy with yourself, that's when you're ready to give somebody your all because you can't give somebody your all and not be happy with yourself. And I've been happy with myself for a minute. I wasn't for a long time. I went from being fat, you know, people used to make fun of me on games and stuff and all this crazy stuff. And I went to being like real skinny and now I'm in the gym picking up weights. I'm not gonna sit here and cry about it. I'm gonna do something about it if I don't like the way I look. But that's like a different thing. So yeah, that's just the end of that, y'all. Get the or the end of that specific thing. Get to know yourselves really because it will make the whole situation relationship wise for you better. The more you know yourself, the more you can know your partner, and the more you can know your partner, the more fruitful the relationship will be. The better the relationship will be, y'all. I'm telling you. And I trust me, I know from experience. My pops used to always tell me this: learn from wisdom, not experience. And going deeper into that quote, when you learn from wisdom, it's people that have already learned from experience because wisdom comes from experience. And when you learn from others people wisdom, you don't have to go through these same experiences that they did. So you don't have to learn from the hurt and the trauma. You can literally learn from the mistakes that they've made. And I'm telling you guys today, take the time and learn the mistakes that I've made. Learn from the mistakes that I've made. Take time to know yourself and take time to, get to know your partner. And if you're with somebody and you feel like you can't give them 100% of yourself, just straight up tell them. Just be like, You're nothing personal against you. You know, you're a really good person, and that's why I have to let you go, is because I feel like I'm not ready with myself to be with you. It's that level of maturity. And I know it's so hard, y'all. I know it's so easy, especially as teenagers, to want to cling on to something, right, with somebody, because there's a lot of attractive people in the world, and it can make you do some dumb things, but you got to just be on that level of maturity and just be like, as much as it hurts, I've wanted you for the longest, you're very pretty, or whatever the situation may be. I have to let you go because I'm just not ready to give you all of my 100%. And it goes the same for boys and girls. This is like a gender neutral thing. Like, it has nothing to do with gender at all. And you know further on, like, elaborating to that, when you do that and you're able to make the relationship fruitful, you can, like, build something so happy. Like, that's why when you see all those old people, like, on those TV shows and stuff, if y'all know what I'm talking about, they're like 108 and they've been together for 80 years and they've known each other since they were like 10 or whatever. It's because it's just open communication, maturity, and honesty. That's the key. You guys just gotta unlock it. Like, I'm really trying to put y'all on game. Like, but or like, I want to keep these videos more professional, but it's like that's the best way I know how to word it. It's like we really just have to choose to be better if we want to see change and improvement. And it sounds like a basic statement, but it's something that people don't talk about enough. Like, if we got to be the change we want to see in the world. Like, I feel like that's such an overused quote, but it's so true though. Like, if how can we expect change, or how can we want the change that we want to see and then not contribute to the change? If that makes sense. If y'all give me, y'all give me. Like, we can't want to see change and then not contribute to it. And going on to, like, the whole meditation thing, I feel like I touched on this a little bit earlier, but I can, like, elaborate on it. Do not give your energy to people that have bad energy. Stop holding on to the bad energy, the negativity. It's why you get frustrated so easy. It's why you get so mad. It's why you get so sad. It's why you have mood swings. It's because you're letting their negative energy and their negative, just their presence is negative, right? Being around you. Like, if you can tell that and you're choosing to be around them, you're doing it to yourself. It's self destructiveness. You're doing it to yourself. Let me slow down. I feel like I'm kind of talking fast. I talk kind of fast, y'all. But I feel like if you're letting people that have negative energy stay around you, like, all the time, it's gonna affect the way you process your emotions, no matter what level you're on. Because if you're trying to fill yourself with good, 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 you can't, you can't have good, good, good if you're surrounding yourself with bad, bad, bad. That's the simple way I'm gonna put it. You can't do that. It's not how it works. Yeah, it goes hand in hand. But I feel like the key to this is, like, and this kind of relates to the thing I was talking about with the meditation. We have to choose to live in our own worlds. And what I mean by this, when I say we have to choose to live in our own worlds, is we have to, like, choose to just do our own thing. We're in our universe. Nobody else's words from their worlds can touch us because we're in our own area, okay? Like, I'm gonna put this in, like, a first or, like, a second person perspective, I think it's what it is. You can't let other people's words affect you when you have your own, if you have your own universe, your own world, whatever you want to call it, your own planet, whatever you want to call it. People's words will never affect you if you operate this way, because it's like, I'm in a whole different galaxy than you. So how can I let your words affect me? And then going on to stuff I said earlier, you haven't been through what I've been through, so you can't speak on it anyway. And that's just the way I see it. And you know, if once you're in your own world, you're doing your own thing. You got your headphones on, you're canceling everybody out, and you don't let anybody's negative opinions affect you. That's when you will find that inner peace in yourself, and you'll be able to, help other people, and give your love and affection, and or whatever it is that you want to give somebody. You can give it all to them now, and it's a beautiful thing, truly. I think one of the most beautiful things is when two people, well, I think this is the most beautiful thing, actually, is when two people are able to, be mature with each other and love each other, and, admit faults. And like I said, admitting faults is also a part of maturity. A lot of immature people, like emotionally immature people, won't admit when they're at fault. But when you admit that you're emotionally immature, or no, not when you, no, I got that order wrong, my fault. When you can admit things when you're wrong, or you could say, oh, I don't know this, or oh, I don't know that, or oh, I was wrong about this, I'm sorry about that. You can apologize and be open and honest. And when that emotional maturity kicks in and two people have that and they're locked in together, it's so beautiful. And I'm saying it's beautiful because I've seen it. I've never got to experience it, which, oh my, y'all don't know how bad that shit hurts me. Like, I'm laughing it like it's funny, but it's not funny. Like, it's fucking like it's really sad for real. But I mean, all I can do is hope one day that God has somebody for me that is just like me and can deal with the problem. I mean, we all have our own issues. I'm not gonna say that even after I, fix myself mentally, I still have issues. I'm still shy. It's a mental block that I'm trying to get over, but it's still an issue for a lot of people because they like to, conversate with people. I mean, who doesn't? I like talking to people too. Just I can't really talk to random people. It's kind of hard for me. But um, when you take this though and you like really sit back and look at it, it's like beautiful, right? And it's like hopefully God has that for me one day. I can't help but hope anything else. And me, I'm kind of like I like to call it a presence person. So if I know somebody pretty well, I can literally sit next to you for like, I don't do this because I think most people wouldn't like it, but I can literally sit next to somebody for hours. Like I do this with my mom sometimes. Like when we're in the car on a long drive, I just won't say anything. I'll just sit there. I'm a presence person. I like to, like if I'm in your presence, I can already like I feel like when you're a presence person, you can feel the wavelengths, right? Like the emotions of people. Like you can like sense when they're feeling bad or good. I think they call that like an empath or something like that. I don't know if that's the right word if I'm using that right, but I think that's what it is. But I'm kind of like a presence person, right? So of course I don't directly have to be in your like I don't have to be talking to you 24/7 to kind of like get closer to you. Like I can just be around you, just walk with you. I don't have to walk and talk. I can just walk with you, be around you, be with you. Um and I feel like I can, learn from you. And it's kind of weird. It's not. It's almost like a. I don't want to say mind reading because that sounds kind of childish, but it's like I can almost hear, and feel your thoughts. You know. And I don't know if there's anybody else like that, but I hope one day I can find somebody who thinks like me. That loves me for me, and who thinks like that. Because that would be amazing for me, man. I would be so happy that it happens. But I'm not gonna force it. Like I said, y'all. I'm not gonna force it. When it comes to me, it comes to me. When it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm just gonna hope that I don't blow another chance because I've blown a lot of chances with a lot of amazing people. But you know, you live and you learn. That type of thing. And that's how I feel about the whole like presence person. Relationship, emotional maturity type stuff. And I remember I had a lot of stuff written down for the video, but all of this has just been off the top of my head. Like the emotions have been so strong the past few days. It's been a lot for me in the past week. Um, I've been and I wanted to do this while it was still fresh. Like I wanted to catch my emotions while they were still fresh, and I wanted to just come on here and get because y'all a lot of people like hearing the way I think and seeing the way I think. Um, and this is kind of the way I feel about it. And like I said, nothing I said was lies in here, y'all. I'm 100% truthful about everything now. At least I used to lie about a lot of stuff, but I'm truthful and I'm truthful in spirit. I feel like most of the time too. Uh, excuse me, y'all. But yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and lie, give y'all some false information or whatever. This is just me speaking from my heart, truly. That's why I don't need no notes written down when I'm speaking. It's because I have uh I have everything I need in my heart. All my emotions, what I feel, and I'm really good at processing it. So like, yeah, I know what I want to talk about, and I know what I want to write now. And I don't have to write about it to know what I want to talk about because it's all in my head. It's all in my emotions. It's all in my feelings. And one more thing I want to talk about. I heard I seen this quote and it was like, you are not your emotions. You are just the consciousness in you are just consciousness observing your body's reaction to things. And I think that's a really good way to think about it in if you look at it the right way. So I think let me like dissect it for you guys for if you don't understand it. So like our bodies as humans in human nature, which is outside of our consciousness, right? I feel like that is like our human nature, like is when we feel pain, like physical pain, we want to scream or cry. That's your body's reaction. That's not your consciousness because your consciousness can't feel physical pain at least. It can feel emotional pain, I guess, but that's really still not even like it's like a whole like a circle kind of. It's like a loop. But And then like when your body feels like distressed or sad by something that somebody tells you, your consciousness can process it and like it feeds that information to your body. That's why when you sometimes when I feel sad, like I'll get chills and I'll feel really like like I'll feel like shaken up, like I just got like scared or like jumped or like threatened to get like I don't know. It's how to explain it. It's very very interesting and I feel very passionate about it. But like our consciousness, kind of just feeds our body with the right way to feel about a lot of the things. And you are not your emotions. We can react off the impulse sometimes, but that's human nature, you know. And we have to learn how to our consciousness has to kind of learn how to train our body to not react off the impulse because it's not the right thing to do for a lot of people. It's never like the right thing to do to act off an impulse. You have to sit back and think, but your body will always go against that. Like your body will always go against, "Oh, let me sit down and think about this." Because a lot of the times you'll just get up and like, let's say somebody was talking crazy, right? Instead of sitting down, maybe trying to talk and just figure stuff out. You would just, hey, somebody be like, hey, say where you at, man. I'm trying to fight this nigga, bro. Like you really just be mad and like that's your emotions in your body. Your flesh's pride being hurt. It's not your consciousness. It's not your consciousness. It's your pride being hurt. Your body. You're like your pride and your ego. It's all that being hurt. I feel like it's all looped. It's all connected, and it's that's how I feel about it. It's very hard to explain, but I feel like our consciousness is not what our emotions are. Our emotions are our emotions, and our consciousness is our consciousness. It sounds kind of silly, but like that's just the truth, and that's just the way it is. Like our bodies will always react some type of way, and it's gonna like, and your brain, like your not your brain, your body tricked you into thinking, oh yeah, this is me. I feel some type of way, like, oh yeah, I'm angry because this person did that. No, you're not angry. You're observing that your body is angry. That's how I feel. Like, oh, you're not sad. You're like observing how your body's reacting to it. Like that's how fear is. You're not scared. Your body is. Your mind is, and your mind and your consciousness also aren't the same thing. It's very hard to explain, but with that being said, y'all, that was I guess the second video because I took down the third one. That was the second video. Or this is the second video. Thank y'all for the support on the last one. I hope y'all show out and pop out for this one. And I guess I'ma just oh, also to my homeboys who are gonna be watching this. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to Julian. He's really inspired me with this YouTube thing. He helped me more than y'all probably know. Shout out to everybody in my period 5 English class. I really fuck with y'all. Uh, and just shout out to everybody, man, who's been supporting me, who's been, popping out, showing support, encouraging me, keeping me up instead of bringing me down. I love y'all boys. C-Rax, Karma, all y'all boys. And with that being said, man, I guess I'm gonna catch y'all whenever the next video come out and Trey out.